Hi everyone, this is Marcia. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for stopping by the channel. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, you might consider doing that. Today we're going to continue our series making the small ornaments for the small tree that I'm going to decorate in probably another video or two. We still have some gathering and making of ornaments to do before we get to that point, but it's coming. So on last week's video I showed the beaded pearl ornaments that I made, and I asked for you to pick one, to which one I should do as a tutorial. Well, we had a mix. We had 4 pick the green, 2 pick the red, and 3 said either or both. Even with taking those 3 from both and adding them into both the green and the red, the green is still the winner. So I am going to do the tutorial for this bead cover today. So I did agree, I believe it was Martha that said, and if it wasn't Martha, I will correct that in the comments, that she liked the red, but not these beads. She liked seeing more of the pearls. So I don't presently have red seed beads, but I'm going to look through my stash. There's got to be a necklace with red seed beads on it somewhere that I can take apart. And we'll get some red seed beads, and we'll do some like this in red also. So we'll have a combination. But today we will do the green, and this is my blank that we'll work with to cover, so we don't need that hook right now. So let me tell you what I am using. The pearls, the caps, everything here except for the pen was found in a jewelry jar. So maybe I will leave some totally plain, but they're not, well, they're okay, I guess. I was gonna say they're not the best, but they're okay. But you need to do the bead weaving, you're going to need beading thread. I use Wildfire. You can use Fireline or any other beading thread of your choice. I like Wildfire because it's a little sturdier than some. You will need a needle. I am using a size 10. You can also use a size 11 or 12. So I've gone ahead and I've put a wingspan of thread on my needle, and I was told the last time I mentioned wingspan that I should explain what a wingspan is. For those of you that don't know, if you put your arms by your side and then raise them to where they, it's horizontal, it's straight out, like you're playing airplane. And you take that measurement from one fingertip on one hand to the other hand, the end of the fingertip, that's a wingspan. And for me, it's about 60 inches or 5 feet. So that's about how much. So use what is comfortable for you. If that's, the 5 feet is too much thread for you to work with at one time, do 2 or 3 feet, and depending on what thread you use, some of it can tangle, and when you've got more, that's likely to happen. Alrighty, so I've got my stop bead, and then I've got the beads that I'm going to work with. We're definitely going to do these. I might do a silver, change it up a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, and I have scissors here because, of course, if you're dealing with thread, you need to cut it. So, but that's that, and I think that's all we need. So let's get into it. Put that off to the side. We'll get our inspiration piece right there. We'll get our blank, and we will get some of these beads out if I can get it open. The first time or two that you open these containers, it's a struggle. They're really tight, and I just broke my nail. Let's see, this one is, yeah, that one's better. Okay, well, that will get us started. See, these have been opened before, so they are a little easier. Okay, let's put our stop bead on. I'm using one of the red beads, so that will definitely, you always want to use, I mean, I don't suppose, you don't have to, but I usually use a bead that is different to one I'm actually using in the project, so I don't accidentally work it into the project. I'm going to leave it's about 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches. Just we need some to work back in. How we started this, or how I started this, and it's been a couple weeks I think since I did this, so I'm going to do my best to remember how I did it. So I hope you bear with me. So we're going to pick up, like I said, these were found in a jewelry jar, and I'm not going to say what brand I think they are or from what country, but I don't think they're Czech beads because there's too many irregularities. Usually the Czech or Japanese beads are more uniform. But anyway, I'm going to pick up 2. I don't have to do that. Get the thread out of the way. Pick up 2 seed beads, whatever color you're using, a rice pearl, and 2 more seed beads. Now that one's kind of skinny. That's okay. Another rice pearl. And we're going to do this 6 times. You're going to start with 2 seed beads and end with a rice pearl. But there should be 6 groups of 2 and 6 pearls when you're finished. So. Alrighty, I have 2 seed beads, a rice pearl, 2 seed beads, a rice pearl, ending with the rice pearl with a total of 6. So we're going to take that down to the stop bead, and we're going to turn that into a circle by going through the first 2 seed beads. And those 2 to start. I think I might just go all the way around and reinforce, and then when I get to the end of this pearl, I might tie the 2 together. Okay, so I'm going to take off my stop bead so I can just tie this together. And I'm not going to do it super tight because I might have to go back in there, but I'm not going to leave a lot of slack in there either. Make sure when you tie your knot you get right in between the 2 beads, because it can slip. Okay. So we're coming out of that pearl. I'm going to go through those 2 seed beads right after the section I made the knot. Okay, now our next row is this. I have to go around the whole thing and add this center green bead. I don't know of another way to do it, because if I try to do it with the unit, it doesn't lay in the position I want. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to advance through the pearl. Sorry about that. So I'm going to try to stay in frame here. Try to stay focused. So I'm going to pick up a seed bead, and I'm going to cross over the 2 seed beads that are there and go through the pearl. Just the pearl. Yeah, these are not a good quality seed bead because, you can see they're all different. It'll work, but, if a Japanese seed bead is really good. Czech seed beads, they're uniform. They're more uniform. So pick up another green or another seed bead, whatever color you're using. Pass over the 2 green seed beads or the seed beads that are there. Go. I tried to leave some slack. I knew I'd need to go through them again and go through that pearl. And again, position that. A lot of times it will fall right into position, but if it goes to one side or the other, make sure it's lays right center of those 2 beads. So I'm going to continue that all the way around, And when I'm done, I'll meet you back here. Oh, strange lighting. Oh my goodness. I got all the lights on in here, but I guess, it's getting later and the sun's going to be setting soon. Anyway, I'm down to my last bead to put on, and I thought I would come back and do that on camera. So I'm here. I'm going to go through the pearl. Wait a minute, what did I do? It's kind of cute. And this is what it looks like on the ornament. So, I went through this. I didn't mean to go through that. But I need to go through that. So, in case you didn't see that, I put that last one on, came through this pearl, and I thought I had gone just through the pearl, but I caught this bead, this first seed bead that we put on. It seems so dark. But anyway, we needed to come out here because we're going to start putting these right angle weave units on, this right here. So we want to pick up a pearl, a seed bead, a pearl. These are so hard to pick up. A seed bead. That one's too thin. We want 4 pearls and 4 seed beads. And we already have the first seed bead on here. So that's why I started with the pearl. Then a seed bead, a pearl, a seed bead, a pearl, a seed bead, and then a pearl. And then we're going to bring this around to the bead that we came out originally, but on the other side. We're just going to loop it around. And that's what we have. And we're going to do that all the way around. Have one of these coming out of each, or hanging down from each green seed bead. So we're going to work our way back, not back, but over to the next seed bead. And pick up the same as we did for that first unit. A seed bead, well, that first seed bead, a pearl, a seed bead, pearl, a seed bead. So we want to make sure you have 4 pearls and 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. And just like the first one, you're coming out of the right side of that seed bead, you go around and go back through it from the left side. And you keep doing that around off of each one of these seed beads until you have all 6 units made. And I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back when I'm done. All right, I got 5 of my 6 units complete. I'm on the last one, and I thought I would come back and finish that off with you guys. So I've got my 4 seed beads and my 4 pearls, and I'm coming around that last seed bead, which is actually the first of the row. To complete that, I'm going to go from the seed bead, from this seed bead, over. It's hard to get in there sometimes. Go through that pearl. And before I advance, I'm going to let you see what this looks like. That's that. So good start. Now what we need to do is connect these. Now this is where, if I was going to use the seed beads, the silver beads, I would add to this section right here. But for this, I don't think we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and advance. I'm coming out of this pearl. I'm going to go through that single seed bead. I'm going to go down this pearl. I'm gonna turn my work. It's easier for me to work in this direction with the work on my left side and me working on the right hand side. So I'm going to go through that center, what I call the center, one of the center, this being the center of the unit. And then I'm coming down that seed bead. I want to attach it to this seed bead by going up, from the bottom up. And then I'm going to go back down the first seed bead to draw those two together. Now, do I want to reinforce it, or do I want to just leave it with the one? I think I'll leave it with one. Hope I'm not making a mistake. So then I need to advance over to the next seed bead, side seed bead, I should say. So I'm just going to follow the thread path and work my way over to that next bead. Okay. I'm coming up this seed bead. See, my thread is coming out. If I hold it like this, that's why I say up. It's going in that direction. So going up, and then I want to go down the corresponding one. And that's how we're going to attach all of them. And that will help it sit better on the ornament. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. No, well, I'll finish this one, and then my thread is wrapped around my needle. Okay, maybe you can see it better like this. Coming out of there, and you come back, coming down, so you want to go up that seed bead. Right. And I'm going to go back down through the seed bead, the pearl, this seed bead on the bottom, and I hope you all can see. I'm not paying attention to the camera, and I'm trying to stay in frame. So back up to this seed bead coming out of there so we can join it to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. Okay, I've got all of the units connected except for the last one, and I just want to show you. I guess I'm not showing you, I'm doing it with you on camera. I've already shown you how to do it. So we are on our last unit. I'm closing that up. We're going to, come on, get that tail thread out of the way. Pull that tight. We're going to advance. Here we are. We're going to get down to this bead right here by going through that pearl to the right of where we're coming out, and then through the seed bead. And you can see it's already starting to curl up a little bit, and that's exactly what we want, because we want it to wrap around. These covers are so cute. I've seen many ladies make them, and I knew one day I would be doing it too. Alrighty, so we're out here, and we're going to continue that process. We're going to drop one of these 4 bead units off of each one of these seed beads, which is, I think, slightly different than what I did here. But I mean, you can see here's a unit and here's a unit. but somehow I don't know what I did. I had to modify it. I don't know if that was too much. I'm going to do a couple of units and then I'm going to see. I didn't take notes when I was doing that. I don't know why I don't take notes, because I don't know what I'm doing until I actually do it, and then once I do it, I just continue and don't even think about writing it down. Some of the pearl coating's coming off of these. They're so hard to pick up. Oh, come on, come on. Without sticking myself. Just when you think you have it. Anyway, so just like we did in the first row, I've got I start with the 1 seed bead, add 4 pearls with seed beads in between, and then connect the unit. I'll work my way over to this one by going through this bead. I think I'll go up through that seed bead, down through this seed bead, so that gives it some extra reinforcement as well. Get this tail out of my way, go through the pearl and through that bottom seed bead, and keep doing that until you have 6 more units on. Or no, I want to try this because I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and do a few more. See, I'm not sure if I do 6. It might. I don't remember how I did the other one. I don't do a lot of bead weaving, so I just wing it when I do. Unless I'm following someone else's pattern. This thing is curling. It's hard. I don't want to cut it off just yet. I don't know why. I just don't want to. Okay, we've got our 4 pearls on and our 3 seed beads connecting to the original seed bead. Just want to see, is this going to... Yeah. So I am going to put them all on. So I'm just going to work my way over to the next center seed bead so I can add my next unit. Again, I'm going to do that off camera. I will come back when I'm done and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm back and I've worked all 6 of my right angle weave units on here, and I want to show you what this looks like. Sorry about that. Okay. And that's how it hangs. Now on this next row, I cannot connect these 2 together like this because it draws it up too much. But there is space in between there. I don't think I did it. I think I had to alternate. I really had to make some changes to that one as I went along. But I think 1 pearl will fit in between these 2. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I think I did it on some, but not all. See, I have a pearl going across here, but not here. Here, but not here. So I may have alternated. I'm going to try to do 1. I'm going to see if it fits. So let's get down. Find that tail thread and get it out of my way. I probably could cut that off now, but next break I'll cut it off. So I put my last unit on and I worked my way over to here, and I'm coming out of this pearl. So what I'm going to do is come down this side, the pearl and the seed bead. And then I'm going to pick up a pearl, which is easier said than done. There we go. And coming out at the bottom, I'm going to go from top to bottom on the right side. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. And then I'm going to go, oh, get it off my finger. Coming out the top, I'm going to go back through the pearl. And then go down this bead. And I'm thinking that will clench it all up. And that kind of centers it as well. Like that. So let me work my way over to here. We'll try it. Putting a pearl in between each one may be too much, but we have to do some. So let me work my way up to this next side bead. Okay, we have the one pearl on here. I'm going to do two. I'm going to work my way over to this section right here, and we're going to alternate these pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. I'm pretty sure that's what I did on here, but it's kind of cockeyed. I don't know. So anyway, while we're here, we're going to just, actually, we don't need to add anything. We've already got the two together here, so we'll just snug this up by going around them like that. And yes, you're going to see some thread. It's not much we can do about that. So I'm going to go down, work my way over to that next side bead. My thread's kind of loosened up. Anyway, go up that one bead. I know we're going to add another pearl on this side. Don't want to lose I don't need those. I can only hope this will work. I'm losing it. Okay, we're coming up. We're going to go down. Then we're going to go back through the pearl. Go up the seed bead. Pull it tight. And go back through the pearl. I'm watching this because sometimes when I pull, I'll pull my thread out as well. And then I'm just going to go right through the pearl and the seed bead here. I still need to get rid of this tail thread. And now we'll back over to here. We just connect these two together. Let's do a trawl fit. Let's see, did I do this? We've got a pearl. This should be a pearl, and yeah, I think it'll work. Okay, I'm going to finish these off camera because I need to also add thread. And I can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So let me do that. I'm going to get rid of this tail thread and add some more thread to this as well. And I'll meet you back after I have those two sections done. Okay, I finished the round. This is what it looks like on, it's hard to hold, on the ornament. And now we really need to start tapering this down and conforming it to the ball and the ornament. So what I'm going to do is, in between these sections that have the 2 beads, I'm going to put 1 pearl. Below the section that has the 1 pearl going across, I'm going to do a seed bead, pearl, seed bead. And that should, I'm pretty sure if I'm looking at my sample correctly, that's what I did, and that should roll it up. And I'm going to have to do the work on this ornament, because once we start tightening it up, you know, of course I can't get it on. But I went ahead and I got myself some new thread. I tied everything off, got a new thread, I got a stopper bead on it. So I am going to start right here to, if you look at it like this, to the left of these 2. Oops, if I can get in there. Oops. Let's try this. Tight. Okay. And it's not always tight, it's just sometimes the angle that you're coming through the bead on at, the angle that you're coming at. It can make a difference. So let me put this back in here. So much to hold on to. Okay, we've got this, and we're going to start with 1, and I laid it out so I wouldn't get confused. You know, and then we're going to pass through the next seed bead. Dealing with a lot of thread, so that pulls that together. If you can see that. If you can see that. I mean, I hope you can see that. And then on this section, what we need to do is connect to this bead over here by adding 1 seed bead, a pearl, and a seed bead. And I can't just, I need to get just, there we go, just the seed bead. This may or may not be enough to draw it up. No, I think that'll do it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get my next pearl and go from this seed bead to the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Like that. So I'm just alternating between, like I said, the, oops, wait a minute, I think I have a knot. Not anymore. So we're just, like I said, we're just going between a single pearl, then a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, then a single pearl, then a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, going to the next bottom seed bead of the next unit, then 1 more pearl from here to here. If you do not have this size pearl, then you will have to adjust it accordingly if this won't work for you. Okay, so we've got our last unit, which is the seed bead, the pearl, and the seed bead. I need to get that out of my way. And we'll go back through that first seed bead of the unit of this row. Something's not wanting to go through. Oh, don't tell me I got too much thread in there already. No, I shouldn't. The last thing I want to do is break that seed bead. Then I have to go all the way around. Okay, so here we go. We've got that. That's what it looks like. And see what I mean? This is like center, and that You can see where the pen is coming out. That's off-centered. So I'm going to go past this seed bead a couple of beads so I can get this a little tighter. And you just keep it. Well, that looks good. Now I just need to figure out what I did next. Okay, I went ahead and reinforced this bottom. I went all the way around again. And what I'm going to do is at the bottom, see, I did a pearl and then I did a seed bead, pearl, seed bead. Well, that seed bead here, right before the unit that has the seed bead and the pearl, and there's a little bit of slack in there. That's okay. It's going to be on the bottom and we can see it. I'm going to take a seed bead. No, I'm going to take a pearl, a seed bead, and a pearl. Let me just put on another pearl and seed bead. We need to draw it up, and I think this is going to be too much. But I may be mistaken. Here's one. And then we need to work our way over to this unit. Oh, that might work. If we do one here, then one here, then one here, then we can connect. We'll find out. Let's work our way over. Okay. So we're going to do seed bead. No, we're going to do a pearl. Get some more pearls. I might not have enough pearls to do all the ornaments I want, so there will be some plain. This, another pearl, seed bead, and a pearl. Drop it down, and then connect to this seed bead on the unit, not part of the row that had the seed bead, pearl, seed bead. And we'll find out with this if it's going to be too much. No, because these will get connected. We'll do one more unit like this, and then we'll connect the center. So where are we coming out? We're coming out there, so we need to pass through this pearl and that seed bead. That seed bead right there. Then we're going to pick up that same configuration. Pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and pearl. And then we're going to come over. Oh, this is the tight one. Let me get that seed bead out of my way. I mean the stop bead out of my way. And I have to come through this original, the first one, and it is very tight. There's a lot of thread in there. I'm trying. This is a lot of thread going through this one bead. A lot of passes. There we go. I got it. I might need to pull it through with my pliers. And I don't think I'll need to go through it again, so please, please, please don't break. Ah, thank you. Alrighty. So we've got our 3 units on, and that'll get connected in the center like that. So let me work my way down to this bead here, or maybe I'll continue across and come down here. Go through that pearl, this seed bead, just the one. Okay, down this pearl and come out the seed bead on this corner. So what we're going to do, no, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over because I want to be coming down this way. I want to be coming in this direction. Because I was coming down here, I'd have to go up the next bead. See, if I was coming down here, I'd have to go up here. Where if I come through here, I'm coming up so I can go down the next bead. And I hope that makes sense. See, I'm coming up, and now I can go down. So that connects that. And then I'm going to go through that pearl and seed bead so I can get over to this one and come down. Is this going to be too big? It's different than the other one. Oh, come on. Sorry. Then I'm going to go through the pearl. That's right there. Go through that pearl. And then back down that seed bead. Just trying to get through that pearl again. Okay, I got through the pearl and the seed bead. I'm just going to go around a couple of times to tighten it up. But that's it. We're done. Like I said, depending on the size of the bead you use, that will determine, you know, how you do yours. You might have to tweak this a little bit as well. Like I said, this is not exactly like my original. I had to put 3 beads in there, so I must have added an entire unit down here, but it showed more pearl bead, but I have more pearls here. I kind of like this. I like them both. It doesn't matter, and you can't see the bottom. This pretty much looks the same. So that's it. I am going to go ahead off camera. I'm going to finish, you know, putting some more thread through these beads, just snugging it up a little bit more. Get rid of my tail thread. And we have 2 of these done. I'm still on the hunt for red seed beads. So whatever I can make, oh, I did make all my small ones. Now I have the medium, all of the medium and the small finished. This will be my large, and like I said, we'll do some of these plain, because I don't think I'm going to have enough green seed beads, maybe to do one more. For this week's video, we're done. We're done. And next week, we need a topper, don't we? So next week is either going to be the topper, or we're going to start decorating the tree. I'll surprise you. So until next week in that next video, y'all take care. Bye-bye.